Hey everyone, today we're taking this beauty from meh to wow. If your car's paint is looking a little tired, a little dull, or has those annoying swirl marks, don't worry, we've got you covered. I'm going to show you step by step how to polish your car like a pro, even if you've never touched a polisher before. We'll talk about the right tools, the perfect pads, and the magic potion, aka car polish, that makes your paint shine. And yes, we'll do it without creating more scratches, without making a mess, and maybe even with a little fun along the way. So grab your polish, your pads, and let's bring this paint back to life. So before we even think about touching the polish, we had to knock down that texture a bit. We started with a 1500 grit, just to level everything nice and smooth, then followed it up with a 2000 grit to refine that surface. You don't want to rush this step, trust me. Think of it like skincare for your car. Exfoliate before you moisturize. I learned this the hard way back in my early days. Skipped sanding once and ended up polishing orange peel, not paint. So yeah, take your time here. The smoother the base, the better that shine's gonna pop. All right, now let's talk polish machines. This right here is where the magic happens. Whether you've got a dual action or a rotary, the goal's the same. Smooth out the paint and bring back that deep shine. If you've never used one before, don't stress. It's not a monster, it's just a powerful helper with a little attitude. So here we've got two polishes. One's a little stronger for cutting, and the other's smoother for that final shine. Think of it like teamwork. One does the heavy lifting, the other brings the glamour. You don't always need both, but if your paint's been through a lot, trust me, they make a perfect combo. So here we've got some wax options. Yeah, they all promise that showroom shine. If you've got the money, grab one and treat your car. But hey, if not, no stress. Even a good wash and a little love can make your paint look alive again. Just remember, wax is like sunscreen for your car. It keeps that shine safe. All right, so right now we're not polishing yet. We're just applying the polish, nice and easy. You don't need to flood the panel. Just a small amount goes a long way. Think of it like lotion. You're not icing a cake here. You're just feeding the paint. I'm starting small, working section by section, because it's way easier to control and you waste less product. A lot of people make the mistake of dumping too much polish. Then they spend half the time wiping it off instead of working it in. So yeah, less is more. We're just laying the foundation right now, nice and smooth. All right, now we're getting to the fun part. Time to let the machine do a bit of the work. I've got my polisher here, and as you can see, we're starting off slow. We're not chasing speed yet. We're just letting that polish spread out evenly across the surface. Think of this as warming up the panel, letting the pad and the product get to know each other before things get serious. At low speed, you want to make slow, overlapping passes, up and down, side to side, just to get that polish evenly laid out. The goal here isn't to remove defects yet, it's to prime the surface and spread that polish smoothly, so when we bump up the speed later, everything works evenly. Now a little tip, if you notice the pad starting to drag or chatter, that usually means you've either got too little product or you're pressing too hard. Let the machine glide. The pad should float on that thin layer of polish. You're guiding it, not wrestling it. And don't rush this part. This is where control and patience make a big difference. Too many people crank up the speed right away, and all they do is sling polish everywhere, including on themselves. So yeah, start gentle, keep it smooth, let the polish spread out evenly. You'll also notice as you move along that the polish starts to look a little more transparent. That's it starting to break down. That's exactly what we want. This means it's ready for the next step, where we can safely increase the speed and start correcting those light imperfections. But for now, we're keeping it calm, controlled, and professional. Low speed, light pressure, that's how you build a proper finish. All right, now that the polish is evenly spread and the panel's warmed up, it's time to bump up that speed a little. This is where the real correction starts. We're not racing here. We're just giving the machine enough power to let the pad and polish do their job. Nice, steady movements, overlapping each pass about 50% so you don't miss a spot. You'll feel the machine glide smoother now. That's the polish starting to break down and clean the surface. Keep your arm speed consistent, not too fast, not too slow. Remember, control brings shine, not pressure. If you push too hard, you'll just tire yourself out and flatten the pad. Let the machine dance, you're just leading. You'll start noticing that gloss coming out. That's the best part. It's like watching the paint wake up again. Just keep an eye on the reflection. Once it starts looking clear and juicy, that's your sign you're doing it right. Stay patient, keep it smooth, and let the shine come to you. Now, one really important thing to remember while polishing, never stay in one spot for too long. Your polisher might seem gentle, but if you park it in one area, that pad can build up heat fast, and that's how you end up with burn marks or hazy spots in your clear coat. Keep the machine moving in slow, even passes. Think of it like mowing a lawn. You don't stop halfway on one patch. You keep a rhythm. Overlap your passes slightly so you get full coverage without overworking one area. And here's a good tip. If you ever feel the surface getting too warm, back off, let it cool for a few seconds. Paint correction is all about patience and precision, not pressure and power. The goal is smooth, consistent motion, so the polish breaks down evenly and the surface comes out looking flawless. So yeah, keep it gliding, keep it balanced, and never let it sit still for too long. That's how you keep that mirror finish safe. And just look at that. That's the finish we've been working for. The surface is smooth, glossy, and that reflection is crystal clear. No haze, no swirl marks, just pure shine. This is what good polishing technique looks like. Patience pays off every time. If your car's looking this good, you know you did it right. All right, now that the first polish has done its job, it's time for the second stage, the refinement pass. This is where the finer polish comes in. The surface is already smooth, so this polish is all about enhancing the gloss, removing any light haze, and really bringing that mirror-like finish to life. I've already got the polish on the pad, so I'm just guiding the machine over the panel. Notice how I'm keeping my passes steady and overlapping slightly? That way, every inch gets attention without overworking the paint. This step is where patience really pays off. You don't need to push hard. Let the polish and pad do the work. And if you pay attention, you'll start seeing the shine deepen as the product breaks down. It's satisfying, like watching your car wake up from a nap. Remember, this second polish isn't about cutting anymore. It's about finesse, clarity, and that flawless, glass-like finish that really makes your work stand out. Keep it smooth, keep it even, and enjoy the process. The results are worth it.